Okay, so before I start, this meat might look a little different than the one in the upcoming tutorials in the previous video, and the reason being is because I had to do this video again. So I'm just making the whole Labor Day, whatever I made for Labor Day, it'll be in this video. I was ready to upload the video and everything, and I asked someone to, because my camera was running out of space, I asked them to upload it into a folder on the computer. So when I was ready to upload it to YouTube, it would be there. Once, they told me they got everything, so I deleted all the videos on my camera to make space. Half the stuff wasn't even on there. So here I am, just redoing it again. So, I mean, it's okay though. Everyone enjoyed it anyway, and so did I. So I don't mind. So I'm using, these are pork spare ribs. And I'm not gonna do barbecue sauce, my homemade barbecue sauce, because I'm gonna save that for the baby back rib that I'm gonna do, the beef baby back rib. So that'll be another tutorial. I am, however, going to use a rub, and for the rub I use dark brown sugar, cayenne pepper, onion powder, and kosher salt. And the barbecue sauce that I like to use, my favorite one anyway, is the Kraft honey mustard. I've been using this one for a while. My friend put me onto that one, and that one is really good. So I'll be doing that. Also, for the ribs, it's just gonna be like an overnight process, because once I wash them and everything, I'm actually gonna let these sit overnight, and I'll talk about that later on in the video. But right now, I'm going to wash my hands, wash the meat, and show you what I do next. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is try and remove some of the membrane from the meat, and what that's going to do is tenderize the meat even more. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is get a really big amount of oil. This is a really big piece. Probably can't see. It's pretty big and long. Alright, and I do need that much, so that way I know it's enough to cover those ribs. But right now I'm gonna get started on the rub. Alright, so for the rub I'm using a half a cup of brown sugar, and this is the cayenne pepper. I'm using 1.5 tablespoons of cayenne pepper and a teaspoon of onion powder. Alright, so that's my, this is going to be my teaspoon of onion powder. Alright, now that I made the rub, I'm just going to add the meat right back on the foil. And now, actually I'm going to season that side first, because this is the side that's going to lie down when it's cooking. So, season that. So I'm just going to take the little rub I made, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the meat. pound it into the meat. I'm trying to get every side. I'm gonna wash my hands and then do it some more. Okay, again, I'm gonna take some of the rub, sprinkle it on some more. Make sure I save some for the other side. And then, like I said, just kind of, yeah. Make sure you don't try to get it on every side. Here too. And just pound it in there, rub it in there. But I like to pound it in there really well. And now, that's why I wanted to season this side first, because I'm actually going to cook it meat side down. So now I'm going to do the back. Same thing. Just rub it in and pound it. And let's get this. Every side. Excuse me. Pound it. Just try to get everything. Okay. I think let me just use the last bit. Alright. So let me wash my hands and then I'll be back. So what I'll do now is I'm going to, that's why I made the foil so big. I'm just going to wrap the meat up tightly. And even though I used like a big piece of foil and it was enough to fit all the meat, I'm still going to put some more foil over that because I want it to be wrapped really, really tightly. Right. And I think I'm going to do it one more time. Alright. Okay. Alright, let me just go wash my hands and clean up a little bit and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm all done. Meat is all wrapped nice and tight. The meat side is facing down, which is how I'm going to cook it. I'm not cooking it today. I'm going to let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. Highly recommend it. Otherwise, at least 8 hours. And if you can't do 8 hours, at least an hour. But I highly recommend to let it sit over a night or at least do the 8 hours. So yeah, that's it for this. I'm going to slow cook it tomorrow and I'll talk about that later on. I'm not going to use the crock pot though, but like I said, I'll talk about that later. But right now I'm going to get started on the greens and macaroni, so I'll be back when I'm ready to start that. Okay, so I took the ribs out of the oven. I did not remove the foil. I don't intend to until it's done cooking. I have them on a cookie sheet lined with foil. I will be cooking them on a cookie sheet. And so 200 degree preheated oven for 4 hours. And then after the 4 hours is up, I'll show what I do next. Okay, so I just took the ribs out of the oven and now I'm going to turn them back around. And this time I'm going to open it up. And now I'm going to add my barbecue sauce. So I'm just spreading some barbecue sauce on. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is put this back in the oven uncovered for 15 minutes. So I'm going to put it back in the oven as is, just like this, uncovered, 15 minutes. And sometimes I'll even do it under the broiler for 15 minutes. But right now I'm just going to do 15 minutes back in the oven. Alright. So I took it out the oven and I'm just trying to get all the juices from the foil. Hold on. Taking the juices from the marinade, and I'm just gonna pour it right on top of the steak. I mean, not the steak, I'm sorry, the ribs. So I'm just going to let that sit, and I'm just going to get started on the yams and macaroni. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, the first day it will be a little spicy because of the cayenne pepper, but trust me, each day it gets better and better. In fact, it didn't even last the second day. So don't be intimidated by the cayenne pepper. Trust me, it's really good.